Oh, and we're live. Oh, it's worse today. Everybody, wear a hat or something so that stops getting so bright. Come on. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to the stream. We're gonna have a little bit of fun today. Sorry about being a little negative last time. I was just a little expecting a more interesting video that we were looked at. That I should probably curate content a little more before I just throw it up. But sometimes I like giving a live read. What's up, Arcanes? How's it going? So yeah, podcast. The Grizzly. What is this? This is the video game stream. We had to put it off a little bit because of life issues, problems. I had was only getting home within an hour of our usual streaming time, and it was just the kids needed to see me. Couldn't do it on was it Friday? Review of Wicked. Oh, you're reviewing Wicked tomorrow? Oh God, that's right. They actually made a movie of that horrible thing. Oh, that should be fun. I need to make a video about that myself, but just the whole feminist movement's ability to see themselves in every villain known to man. Genghis Khan likes to rape. He's actually the hero. Oh wait, he's a man, right? So female Genghis Khan. It's so funny to me. Someone sees the unfandom pulse. Okay, I'll check that out. You're right. Once you put that up, maybe I should write that out. But it's hilarious to me how feminists see themselves in all the old archetype villains. They're from Maleficent to the Wicked Witch of the West to the older villains that these characters. I'm too bald for my own good, guys. The camera just thinks everything should be brighter. Let's cut off my head and see if that helps. Come on, camera. Oh my God, it does. Terrifying. One more adjustment. We'll call that good. You see nothing. We were gone all day. Didn't have time to clean the counters. But this is on a tangent right off the bat when everything's supposed to be about Star Citizen. Hi, people here for Star Citizen. You can blame Art Games for distracting me on the politics. Wrong stream, bro. God, how dare you? No, honestly, it's like a Star Citizen too. Like for example, talking about the villains, their idea of like the worst villains ever that the players should never join or ever be a part of, like the most cartoonish villains that everyone can get behind to kill and everyone's supposed to hate is essentially just humans first in space. They're just a militarized PMC that wants to bring back the old empire that didn't give a shit about aliens and actually cared about the empire. That's the big villain that we're supposed to all hate. I find that funny because they're holding the Vandal. They're super crazy alien race that just wants to kill everybody, right? They're holding them for Squadron 42, the single player campaign. So they came up with the Xeno threat. Ooh, boy. And the way that they're supposed to be the cartoon villains that everyone hates, right, is we're going to be allowed to join the headhunters in Pyro. This is the gangs, right? And all these other evil groups, but we're not allowed to join Xenothreat. And in fact, the headhunters, who rumored may or may not do cannibalism in the lore, will fight Xenothreat for some reason, and so will the Citizen Defense Force in the region. So they're literally both working together to fight Xenothreat because MAGA and space bad. Sacred blue, humanity first. Exactly, man. What a waste. I don't want to harp too much because I there's so much negativity around Star Citizen right now, and I don't even know fully why. You gonna get these cycles where, because the game's so old at this point, all the production's so old, you get this mixture of stuff. So you have this whole cadre of gammas, for example, who got burned by it. They felt like, oh, they've been tricked, and now it's like their personal mission to make sure everyone hates it, and anyone who likes it is like destroyed. But it's very, mean, every group gets their weird gamma things, but it's particularly bad. It comes back down to this rivalry between Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous that went down for a long time. As a guy who never really played Elite Dangerous, I was just like, I'm here for the spaceships, bro. Why is everyone freaking out? But it was a big deal. Pretty crazy. And there's a particular crowd of people who enjoyed Elite Dangerous because it's such a grindy game. You have those guys who lose themselves to it. Yeah. Not it was really good back in the day, I hear, but I never played it. My wife played it, ironically. I didn't. And so you'll get these cycles where some negative stuff happens and these guys will come out of the woodworks just like spamming every YouTube channel they can find, trying to push the narrative more and more negative, like the Spectrum, which is their social media thing they created for Star Citizen, right? I mean, give them credit. They did that before us political types thought that was important, right? Before Social Galactic, Spectrum was a thing. And it's just waves of negativity. And it's funny because they just came from a high, right? The Polaris, everyone loves the Polaris. The high from CitizenCon was beyond over the I showed up. My wife's all interested in it now because of the cool spaceship battles in Squadron 42 and all that crap, right? 100%. But we're in that downturn again, and I'm going to explain some of it, but mostly I want to just talk spaceships right now because I want to have some positivity. The Intrepid really got me down because I felt like that was a really big misstep. Like there was no reason why they had to nerf that ship. They do this weird thing. I swear there's going to be some combat variant of the Intrepid that has two like torpedo bays that drop down. And so they're like, oh, we'll just make a cargo variant with, instead of torpedoes, they're cargo bays. Yeah, people love it. Boom. But because we want to save it for the Military Expo, which is next year, we're going to give the cargo variant out first. But the cargo variant has a lot of different issues that I won't go over here. And so you have a ship that doesn't quite feel right. Like it doesn't feel like it was designed for what they're selling it for. If you catch my meaning, they put a. I won't get into it here. You watch the previous stream if you want. But I have some fun with it. So the Palladin was announced, and honestly, it's a pretty cool looking ship. I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to slap a Xenothreat paint on the side of it for the Emperor, if you know what I mean. Bothersome. As I tell people, the thing that will destroy Star Citizen is either not as even fatigue, because like I said, there's cycles. There was this whole period of 2 to 3 years where there was no updates, but they were working on a lot of core tech to get things rolling, and there was nothing happening. All you could do was walk around a hangar. There was two space stations to visit, no planets, no cities, nothing, right? And there was a period of 2 to 3 years where that was going on, and then right around the time where I joined up or bought my first game package, it was 2017, 2018. Yeah, 2019 maybe, was right around the time where things were starting to pick up. And they really are going fast. Like, Pyro looks really good. It's buggy. What isn't buggy in this? Come on. But in my opinion, the thing that will destroy Star Citizen, if it gets destroyed, won't be these cadre of gammas who come in every now and then just lampooning everything negative, being mad at anything and everything they can get mad at. Like there were literally guys freaking out over the CitizenCon trailers, even though they were amazing. Some guys had some interesting things to say. Like Buzz Psycho was worried about certain elements about when you have a game where players can form alliances and own facilities and stuff. Things can get out of hand. You watch this stuff. I think it's a little overblown. Eve has been around for a long time, and it works. So I think it's gonna be done. But that's not what's going to destroy it, because there's still this core group that really enjoys it. And when you play it as a new person, you're not going to get that experience anywhere else. I mean, you're also not going to get those special bugs anywhere else, if you know what I mean. But hey, if Tom Howard could pull it off, why can't other people? But you don't get. There's no other place that really gives you that tactile feel of the spaceships, the sandbox scenario that you can do with friends, or just messing around pirating, or just doing crazy crap, stuffing a bunch of tanks on a cruise ship. People do it all the time. It's fun. I remember the first time I was one of my drug loads got destroyed by a group of guys who put a bunch of tanks on a cruise ship because it has a hangar, and so they put the tanks on the hangar and they were flying it through space, shooting everyone. And man, I was unhappy to lose my drugs though. That wasn't cool. Yeah, that's right. That's the sort of sandbox gameplay you can get right now in Star Citizen. If you have a beefy enough computer and you're willing to put up with all the bugs. It's a sandbox like no other in that sense. That is just one of many stories where a drug runner, right, was trying to get a leg up because I have no time to play the game, being a father of 4 and full-time job, writing books in the background, doing YouTube stuff every now and then, right? Not a lot of time on my hands. And this game takes a lot of time to get your initial money in and get some ships rolling, unless you have the in-game ships. And then, see, we're going to get into this, right? I am going to mostly talk about the Palladin, I promise. But in my opinion, if you want the full experience, don't buy too many of the late game ships. But if you buy a bunch of ships at all, right? Don't spend thousands of dollars on this game. There's plenty of people who don't have time. Still, being a poor man, in seeing people pay like for a digital asset what I make in a month, it's I don't know. I can't get my mind into that. I can't empathize. I don't know. Even if I had that money, I don't see how I could blow it on it. But, if that's what you're into and you have the discretionary funds, go for it. But, know what you're getting into. This isn't supposed to be a pay to win situation. It can be, but all the ships are eventually buyable in game. You don't have to buy them in real life to use them in game, but it could take a lot of grinding to get up to them. It's more of kind of a PlanetSide 2, you spend money to speed things up kind of thing. Now, of course, there's a balance to that where they can make it so slow that, well, you need to buy them with money anyway, right? But no, as they announced in CitizenCon, they're literally going to have even the biggest ships in the game, the ships you can't buy. Get this, there are ships so big and powerful in the game that you aren't allowed to buy them. Because I don't know if unfair event or just they want ships at the end that are in-game thing you have to craft. One of them was the Bengal carrier, which was confirmed, which is a massive carrier that makes everything else in the game look tiny and baby-like. I mean, let's have some fun with that. Let me show like newbies who haven't done it with it. Give me a moment. Give me a moment here. What is it? Hanger link. That's a fun. Hanger link. Good. There it is. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, you punks. No one has any chill anymore. No. Where am I? I'm lost. You're lost. Everyone's lost. Oh, I wanted to share. That's better. Bodum and shit. Aha! Is it on? Excellent. So this is fun. This is a pretty little thing. Oh, everyone say hi, wife. Hi, wife. Is that a hand above me? Oh gosh, that sucks. All right. So give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Here's what's the standard size starter ship here? Yeah, so this site has all the ships to scale. So Avenger Titan, classic starter ship, very pretty. Yes. And we'll give you kind of a scale look here. It is 22 meters long. Very pretty. I don't know if you guys can hear my children; they're going crazy. But now let's show you what like the planned in-game crap. What the heck? Bangle, Aaron? Do you not know? I don't know how to spell. Apparently, there it is. This is what like. Hold on. It's going to be big. You're not going to be able to see things if I don't do this right. This is what their idea of an in-game spaceship that a bunch of guys have to get together to craft is going to look like. Any moment now. Whoa! I found it here somewhere. Woo! There it is. And then, where's the for scale? Oh man, computer's slowing down. Watch out. Yeah, that they confirmed in CitizenCon that they want to let players build one of these monsters, one of these ridiculous things. So ridiculous. Again, right here, down here, this little baby ship is the standard starter. Like the stupid icon is so big, I can't. Right, this is like your standard starter ship. This is kind of the size of the ship I have right now. I can't even select it because this is ridiculous, right? Look how many you could fit on there. Look, you could fly on the little runway right there. Oh my God, what happened? Oh, we zoomed all the way out. We zoom all the way in. We zoom. My son always says zoom. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We can almost find the starter ship here. No, that's the name. That's just the name.
Oh, that's the name.
There we go. Oh, we're almost there. Yep. That's right. Their plan for the in game is a literal space aircraft carrier. That's funny to me.
What's the size of that?
And you can't actually buy this in game, right? You have to craft it. That's huge, right? Isn't that huge? That's hilarious. And also, if you watch the Squadron 42, like we did a whole live stream where I introduced it to my wife. That's the ship that you see, like the main flagship. That's a Bengal carrier. Fun stuff. Will they be able to pull it all off? I have no idea. They have, in fact, already put a couple of big ships in game that players can fly. Well, this one, the players can fly around if they're naughty and they do bad things. So what one is the Idris? Just PKM. Who? I forget what the difference is. They're all the same length. Who gives a shit? We'll grab this. Ooh, it one's yellow. How about that? As you can see, it looks small next to this thing. But again, let's put the starter ship up. There, go with the stupid box. Go that way, little you big Bengal guy. Right? Oh my God, get out of here. So, but again, right? Look at the size of your standard starter ship compared to this big boy ship that's in game right now. Now, you can't spawn it in your hangars. Yes, players have technically bought one of these. Crazy people who think they can man it. Oh, sorry, wrong click. Man it. They're nuts. They know more people than me. And that's what's fun. I like introducing people because nobody else is doing like this, right? Elite Dangerous has the massive capital ship thing, but it's not an asset that's flown around, as I understand. I got to look into it, but it's not the same, man. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't look the same. It's not as crazy.
I know why your head glows.
Why does my head glow?
White. Yeah.
My wife just called me really white. I believe the term is cracker. Cracker? I don't even know her. Oh, sorry. What?
Salty cracker. It's rather salty.
Anyways, I'm getting all into this. We're getting into weeds. I really like. By the way, if you want to know this website, it's Hanger Link. Hanger Link. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get into. Let's see here, the Palladin. So the reason why the Palladin is a little, shall we say, controversial. Is it? Oh yeah, it doesn't change when I click that. Oh hey, wow, soda.
Yeah, I figured.
My wife originally promised me coffee, but I guess she got a little too tired to make it. You know, I never finished my tangent.
My shoes gave me away.
Am I being pushed?
Woke up.
Are you okay?
Scooter
You mean you're putting her?
Scooter right in front.
I'm gonna turn my wife's foot into
It wasn't my
Into
foot,
a
it was
hamburger.
my rib.
your rib. Oh, whoops. Anyway,
Oh, I need to.
what I've been trying to say this whole time, go back and complete the thought. The only thing that'll actually destroy Star Citizen, because after it's like to make homemade oh.
With pine needles?
This is revenge for constantly trying to distract you from the video game or from the quiet place. That's what this is. It's well done. I'm very distracted now. I'm like, ooh, I like soda. You like soda? You want homemade soda? Yeah. Yeah, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be talking about this. Well done. Did we miss a stream? Did you beat the game yet? Did the pregnant person finally survive?
Did a pregnant person have her baby?
Oh, God. I hope not. She's only like 10 weeks or something like that.
How many is that in game day?
She isn't showing yet, woman.
Oh, true. Never mind.
No news streaming. All right, good. I'm glad I didn't miss any. I've been busy. But the only thing that'll kill Star Citizen is if they let if I can get back from work, I'll join you on that stream, man. But the only thing that'll actually kill Star Citizen, because you're going to have this downtime, and then there'll be another high again, probably when 4.0 comes out and everyone can finally play it.
Some people will call that bipolar.
Bipolar. Right. These moods change, but there's like a steady momentum in Star Citizen, always increasing, making it better. What will actually destroy it is two things. First one is if nukes are real and Russia nukes too many of the CIG spots because they're mostly in Europe.
Will own the ship. The D-Bot drill. Own the ship.
Thank you, wife. Yes. It does, in fact, have a massive railgun on its belly, so I suppose that's a kind of drill.
D-Volt.
Oh, Volt. Battery, yes. It does look kind of battery-ish.
The brand. It's the brand of the electric drill and the tools, the power tools.
Oh.
Brand.
I was right originally?
Yeah.
Why didn't you stop me?
It's kind of funny to see you just...
Anyway.
And you don't what you did for duels also.
As I was saying, the only thing that'll actually kill Star Citizen, besides something physical like a war destroying too many of their assets and whatnot, right, is if they allow the wokeness crowd inside of them to take over. Because they're definitely there. Like, they added that obnoxious thing. When the whole... You remember... I remember a time when video games, when you were making your character, had male and female. Not body types that are clearly male and female.
Is that the hanger link?
Yeah, that's the hanger link if you want to mess around with it while I talk. Ooh, like wants to zoom in, right? And Star Citizen was one of the ones that changed out.
Where you go?
It works like Photoshop. You put the other ship on the bottom. Wait, here, click this button. It says move to back. There you go. It's back.
Oh.
Think of it as layers. And then these buttons right here.
It delayered.
These buttons right here change the perspective. And so there's a couple signs of this. Like, they did a Women's Day thing. There's still an overwhelming presence of clearly guys who are actually serious about yep, that is a turret of producing a really good video game there, and they're most of the ones at the helm of the ship. There was an attempt of a takeover. I don't know, was it 2019, 18? where basically some woke people made some hub. And if you read between the lines, it was clear that it was an attempt for like a woke takeover of the human resource department, because in CIG, Rob, the Roberts guy, the guy who started it all, his wife was the head of the human resource department, right?
Oh.
And guess what? There's this important thing. You okay? There's this important thing that woke type of people do. They get in a company, they get in the human resource department, and then they use the human resource department as a weapon against the entirety of the company. That is really detailed. Give this site credit.
They reverse mirrored it.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Dang. Yeah. And this is basically they one for the asset in game, basically. Though this is a custom color paint for some like
For Devo.
YouTubers and stuff like that. Devo, yes. Drills. And so the woke people were having a really hard time using the human resource department as a weapon against the CIG company, because guess what? When the head of the human resource department is married to the CEO, she's not going to turn against him easily, if you know what I mean. So there was this whole hub where they were trying to get that changed and calling nepotism and all this other crap, right? And I forget exactly what all went down, but it was a whole lot of nothing. It was the usual woke attack. And in this case, they clearly wanted to take over the human resources department. Now, why do they always do that? Now, I have no idea if it's a spiritual thing and the demons download these plans into people, or if it's something they actually plan, or something they just do on instinct. But once they take over the human resource department of a given game company, like you wonder why all these games, despite everything clearly going against them, are doing all this weird woke crap. Right, and like doubling, tripling down, and becoming crappier over time, and not being able to produce the same games as these companies. Like take Naughty Dog, right? I was just having a nostalgic moment of this last week in between dying at work, where I was looking at old Naughty Dog games and videos on them and whatnot. Jack and Dexter was my thing. I never knew that Jack and Dexter 2 was considered one of the hardest games made in that era. I didn't think it was that hard. There was a couple bitch moments, not going to lie. But the couple of the races were excessively hard, I guess. Those took a long time. Neither here nor there. It was interesting to see how the company used to be able to like shift and not get stuck. If that makes any sense. Like, Mario, Nintendo, give them credit, but they did for a long time kind of get stuck in like Mario needs to be one thing. They got out of that, right? But for a while, they were kind of focused and unable to adapt their video games and their franchises, while Naughty Dog was perfectly willing to jump to new franchises, make new things, change their current franchises. That's what the Jack and Dexter went from a more classic Mario platformer type thing, 3D and all that, shiny, pretty, to a much more grittier, a talking protagonist that was actually pretty rare for video games back then. And they actually pulled it off. Like he wasn't just he wasn't annoying. He was actually kind of badass. Yeah. I should play that game for you sometime. Maybe I can stream it. Oh, that would be kind of fun. Would you guys want me to play old games sometimes? Because I would have to emulate it on my computer. Because I don't think my PS2 runs anymore, and I don't know how I would live stream my PS2. I'm not that tech savvy. Anyway,
should have looked at nostalgic games.
Yeah.
What else is on there?
And it's kind of fun because on one hand, sometimes they feel like putting kind of a message out there like, ooh, maybe don't let revenge consume you, Jack. And then on the other hand, the rat makes a weird boob joke on his shoulder. This is funny thing. My parents totally would not have approved if they had bothered to watch me play that game for 5 minutes.
I don't think your parents would get
No, but they would not have approved. I got to the point with this game, right? I don't think I was ever a speedrunner, but I guess when I was a kid, I kind of was. I was beating the game in one day. And that is a long game. I remember I would sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to beat this game today. I'm going to beat this game the next day. It was like a vacation. Yeah.
So it was like being an avid reader, but a
Okay.
gameplay.
But I was also reading a lot of books at night too, ironically. That was a lot of fun. Well, anyway, wow, tangents again. But the reason why they go after human, right? Why Naughty Dog went from a company that could adapt its franchises and make new franchises. Like, remember when Uncharted became a thing? That was originally going to be a Jack and Dexter thing, but then they realized, they couldn't really, it wouldn't be Jack and Dexter enough, making a linear storyline. So instead, they made it Uncharted, made it realistic, created new characters, and bam, we got the Uncharted series, which was great. I will never forgive them in Uncharted 4, though, when they took the spiritual element out. Like, what was really fun about the Uncharted series up to 4, like 4 was a great game, but they added so many woke elements and they took out the spiritual side. Like, it always had that Indiana Jones feel where the monster was real, right? For example, in the first one, they're fighting pirates in this mercenary company chasing a gold idol that's cursed, and there's all these weird warnings around it, and there's something weird going on. Are they eating? And then they run in. They find out that the idol turns people into crazy zombie people, but like the fast zombies, and they're not dead, and they can build things. So they're more like savage, cannibal, wild people. So there's this whole point in the narrative.
Son gets kind when he never dies.
Yeah, so there's this whole point in the narrative where everything shifts, and it's like a little bit of survival horror and also getting out with the gold at the same time while making sure you save the world because the main bad guy wants to sell it as a bioweapon. I'm like, ooh, twist, like it. Right? They took that out in the fourth one. The fourth one, it was just, they kept hyping it up like, ooh, is there something about the gold that drove the pirates crazy and made them kill each other? No, they were just greedy. That was it. There was no ghosts. They were hinting at ghosts. No ghosts. Lame. It was just greed. I'm like, well, thank you for your moral lesson today, Naughty Dog, but I would have preferred there be a final act full of ghosts and crazy pirates. Thank you. But thanks for your moral lesson on greed. That's never been done before. Oh, wait. That's all it came down to, too. It was just greed, bad.
No shit, Sherlock.
Greed, destroy family. Yes, this has been done before. I don't disagree. Oh, this was Uncharted 4. So Uncharted 4. Great kind of narrative setup. There was a nice little mix between a character they introduced, which was the main character's long-lost brother who went to jail for him and all this other stuff.
How nice.
And it kind of came through like he had to stop producing. I do like the narrative structure of he had to stop chasing the gold and choose family. I do like that. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted there to be ghost vampire pirates in there or something.
You want a little bit more Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But I could get over it. Like every other Uncharted game, Uncharted 2, it was Shangri-La, and there was like these not quite zombie, but like immortal freaks that came after you once you found Shangri-La. In the third one, they were kind of getting away from it, but it was like spiritual drug overdoses monsters, though more drug related. I didn't like that one as much. There was some spiritual stuff in it, and I really enjoyed the bald guy. They introduced.
You can relate to him.
No, he was like a Jason Statham character. He was hilarious.
You can relate to.
I am no Jason Statham.
No, but you have to cut your hair like.
Jason Statham shows the way for bald men how to look good. Okay, it's true. You accept it. You cut your hair short. You trim your beard, which I haven't been doing lately.
I still need to give you a haircut before
It's
Wednesday.
Wow, I have a child screaming that he has to go poo-poo. Hey, child, go poo-poo. Preferably not on the floor, please. Yes, to the bathroom.
Close the door.
Don't let your brothers out. You think he's actually gonna go poop or just make me
He's
look
gonna
weird
go.
on stream? Sorry, we're potty training.
Close the door.
That was a long tangent for me to get back to. Naughty Dog, right? Isn't that adapting company anymore? And if you look at what was it? What was the zombie game they made? The Last of Us, right? I trim my beard and suddenly the girls are flirting with me again. Oddly enough, I had that the other night, and I was just like,
You're wearing a black shirt.
the Dark Lord look works and it's creepy. Like, you guys see how overweight I still am? I see it really well on the camera. I don't know if you guys see it. I'm trying to ignore it, but and that was weird. It was weird. It's not like that she was ugly, but I was just looking at this like fresh out of high school girl. I'm like, come on, I'm waiting your table. Have some standards. Every day. No, she's Ukrainian, yo. She'll kill somebody. Slavs are very territorial.
I have an ice pick.
It's already on her face. She's trying to kind of hide it, but did you see it on her face? Like, she gets this look. She can't hide it. Like, she'll want to hide it. Like, I'm not jealous. Don't worry about it. But I know, and she knows. And I worry for the woman's safety, whoever it is. It is. She's had this for like a 12-year-old jumped on me too much, and she kind of gets the look. It was 10. Yeah, that's better. God.
I was praying. I was just for our daughter. My daughter inside of me was like, "That's my father."
Anyway, back to video games. So, in The Last of Us, you can see the transition from Naughty Dog being a. Do you need cleaned up, bro? You need cleaned up?
Stay over there. Stay.
We're gonna lose Mama Grizzly for a second. She does her womanly duties. There's this transition, right, where you have Last of Us Part 1, the first game, which kind of nails a really solid zombie experience, really kind of unique.
Sorry.
Different, kind of different zombies based on reality. They actually kind of follow rules that make some sense. Like the Walking Dead rules make no damn sense, and I'm sorry if you enjoy it, but they don't make any damn sense. They've killed. There shouldn't be any more zombies anymore. They've killed too many of them. It's a population numbers thing. Like, I enjoyed that. There was some good stuff in The Walking Dead, but you can see in the expansions that shift that Naughty Dog was making over time that you saw in the full fruition in Last of Us Part 2, right? And if you saw the expansions, they just out of nowhere make the main female lead gay. Just out of nowhere. And worse, they made it like a pedophilic gay because they're two teenage middle school girls having this romance on screen, right? It's a little disgusting. And everyone just wiped that off the screen. And then, but they already had that kind of in The Last of Us 1 because they had that obnoxious character that they make you like, and then, oh hey, did you know he was gay? Like, oh great, and his gay lover's dead. And so you see this shift where Naughty Dog suddenly can't keep up with the times and make a game that the modern audiences liked. For example, if Naughty Dog was on top of its game, they would have already been on the current Helldivers 2 Space Marine 2 wagon, if you know what I mean. The stuff that Deep Rock Galactic started, right? You can actually see Star Citizen starting to get some stuff of this in here with their a mixture of things. So they have. I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but I hope actually the CIG is paying attention to it because they have the Vandal and a number of other villains, and they kind of hinted at stuff that they could do where all the players work together to stop them. I'm really hoping they don't do It's Xenothreat constantly. Well, it looks like they want to do that because they're holding the Vandal back and all the rest. They have the Vandal. Just use them. Oh, hey, you're back. Is everything all right? Did you wash your hands? Oh, no. Clean up on aisle 12.
It's taking the...
He tried. That's the important part. He had the right idea. Oh, well.
You got the last little bit in the toilet, though.
That's important. Anyway, back to Naughty Dog losing its edge, right? They would have been all over that. I could easily have seen them, instead of making an Uncharted 5 or Last of Us Part 3, right? They would have easily made a new franchise or even gone back to one of their older franchises and made a single-player experience with co-op missions that cooperatively work towards goals and whatnot. It would have been up Naughty Dog's alley. Apparently they're Muslim. It might be alley, if you know what I mean. They would have jumped on the craze. They would have gotten a game in at that right moment. Because if you don't know, that's part of the reason why the Jak and Daxter series changed so thoroughly over time, because they were matching new things and starting new trends. I know AAA games taking risks. The AAA companies taking risks. Call me shocked. They used to do that shit. But now they don't do that. When was the last time Naughty Dog made anything any of us wanted to play? I feel like I need to look that up. When was the last Naughty Dog game that was even made? I think they've been just coasting on like remakes of their old franchises. Why don't I just do it I have a computer in front of me, wife. Latest Naughty Dog game. Go. Let's see. I don't want the AI. Do I want the AI? Uncharted Legacy of... Yeah, literally just remakes of old stuff is all they've been doing. That's pretty sad. From a company that used to be... like a company that used to be making new franchises like every other year that stuck. Like they made Bandicoot, they made Jak and Daxter, they made Ratchet and Clank, they made Uncharted, as I brought up, they made The Last of Us. Like, it bothers me to see that company go down that route, but it's because the woke destroyed it. And the way they do it, and finally bringing this back into Star Citizen, is they attack the human resource department. They take it over. So the way they do that is the human resources departments and companies, they control who gets hired and who gets fired in a lot of the cases. Not always with the fired, but they can have a lot of influence over that. So what do? If you can get enough people in there, hiring people just like themselves. Now, whether this is always a planned thing or they're just literally just hiring people that they like, and they're very self-focused and self-centered and will only hire people like themselves. Once you get enough of them in the human resources department, they slowly transform the company. Naughty Dog went through this whole development. This is why it was a slow progression over time. They slowly started bleeding in, right? We saw it with Uncharted 4. What happened? Suddenly, this guy who's literally killed mercenaries who are beefed up on super Shangri-La juices. That's what happened in the second one, right? Who've climbed up freaking scaffolding, like climbed up a falling train, killed super zombies with World War II weapons, super Nazi zombies, who apparently were immortal, and all these, suddenly is beat up by a random black chick who has muscle mass for a girl, but not enough muscle mass to justify a proper MMA fighter. Yeah, and it's suddenly a huge moral lesson. Not a fun romp of saving the world, shooting the bad guys. Like, there wasn't even like a strong, like in the original Uncharted, there wasn't like a strong like moral, oh, I'm so much like these guys are so much better than these guys, or even like a gray. There was even kind of like this joking, hilarious interplay between one of the henchmen and the main character, the pirate dude. They even kind of work together briefly for a second, and it's kind of funny. They're like a little banter that goes on. And he's like, right. You couldn't have that if you're trying to do all this moral teaching bullshit. Right? Yes, right. And that is the danger for Star Citizen because there's already signs of that there. But I've also seen them push back a little bit. You would have to have been watching it for a while. There was a guy who was always wearing a gay pin on all their videos, and they didn't tell him to scrap it. They told him to scrap it this last year. That's a good sign, saying, "Hey, why not? Why are we pissing off half the people who play our game? Why are we doing this?"
They didn't have any ladies on stage.
Yeah, that's
If
coming
you
from a
remember
woman,
what I
right?
mean.
Yeah, if you don't know, a couple years ago they put a lady on stage
Few
who
years
was fat and wasn't wearing a bra, and everyone in chat was pointing out that they could see a lot more than they wanted to see. I don't know, like, who was everyone just too scared to tell her not to go on stage? That had to have been what it was, right? God. And then, right, there was that Women's Day awkward video because we want them to stop producing the game that they've made been given hundreds of millions of dollars to make, so they can make a video about the women of CIG, of the company. No, now obviously a bunch of white dudes, like 90% of the base who provided those hundreds of millions are a bunch of white nerds who want to explore space. That's why they did it, right? And then different waves of nerds like me who wanted to be a space pirate or a space marine boarding ships like that. Like that is an actual playable space. To understand something, everything in here is a realized room. Will eventually be functional. Like they're making relays and stuff where you can disrupt the electrical flow. Like you can stop a certain part of the ship from functioning if you disrupt its electricity or its piping or whatever it is, right? All of that is realized inside the ship. It's all, every corridor, every room, it's all there, and you can explore every piece of it right now in game. This big old ship, and they have plans to do that with this monstrosity right here. Now, part of the reason why this game is taking so long to make, right? Most people don't know this, but if you go to the original concepting of Halo, the first Halo Evolved game, from when the Bungie first started making it, it took them around 7 to 10 years to finally produce a product that they sold. They went out of business and were bought out by Microsoft in this process, by the way. And imagine, right, how much longer it would have taken them if not only were they making such a new and different game, but they were also having to take the Pillar of Autumn, right? That's the spaceship you start out with, and create every single corridor, make every single gun work, make it flyable if your character got to the pilot seat, right? And make the guns work, make every single other spaceship in that space battle that you start out with functional, have seats, and make sense, right? How much longer would that take? It would have taken them years and years and years, and that's why Star Citizen is taking so long. They've been adding functionality like that to their ships the whole time. And they have monsters like this that they have already put in their timeline to make. Crazy.
That looks like a wrench.
Yeah. The Bengal has actually made its debut in game before. We haven't seen inside of it yet, so it's probably not done per se. Yeah. But you could see the exterior flying by, and its guns worked, and it was hilarious to watch players shoot at it and instantly get obliterated. Nah. Wife's having a little bit of fun here. So, the real danger for Star Citizen, because it has tons of backing, they're doing the business thing decent enough that they're making enough money, is it's entertaining seeing you both interacting on screen. Oh, thank you. She's very distracting, isn't she? It's one of the reasons why I married her. Also, I can hear all my toddlers like not going to bed, even though it's 11:30.
You know what they did?
What
they
they
made
do
an
now?
army of their monster trucks.
An army of monster
They
trucks.
found all their monster trucks and just lined them up in like a...
Perfect. That's right. When they're older, they're all going to get spaceships and Star Citizen. We're all going to line them up. It's going to be great.
They're gonna have fun looking at the ships.
We're going to make a great carrier group. That's why you have lots of kids, baby. Anyway, man, I haven't even gotten to what I said was the topic in the
what was
description.
the topic?
The new
I don't
ship,
even know.
the new ship, but I got distracted. So the one thing that will destroy them is if they let those woke elements consume the company. And they clearly have influence, but they don't have too much influence. When you see a company that has so much woke crap in it, you get Naughty Dog, which gets to the point where it can't produce a new franchise that people want to play, or even a new game in its old franchises that people want to play. So what do they do mostly? They coast off of their old franchises and maybe make some remakes off of them. And maybe produce one flop every now and then that everybody hates. Like it blows my mind. Like, what? Last of Us Part 2 was years ago. And that's the last big game they made. Everything else has been remakes and expansions. Crappy expansions that everyone hated. And remakes that we didn't need. Like the PS5 has come out. They didn't make a new game for the PS5. A new they've always come up with a new franchise. Like Uncharted was the new franchise for PS3. I bought my PS3 because of Uncharted. Well, I convinced my parents because I was young. I convinced my parents to buy my PS3 for me. Dang, I'm old and I was young back then, right? Like PS2, they made like 3 or 4 franchises for. Holy crap. Wow, that just blows my mind how far Naughty Dog has fallen. Dude.
Like, how many games are they making for the PS5?
I'm assuming none.
Not as much as they,
We haven't heard any rumors of them making anything. They've just been making remakes. I mean, maybe they have something.
Are they still selling PS5s?
Well, I mean, Sony's selling PS5s.
Well, yeah,
but Naughty Dog was one of their big
thing.
Developers that made stuff for their consoles. Like they made Crash Bandicoot back in the day, like the flagship for the PS1 and stuff, right? Dude, my mind's like, I'm so old. It's great. I remember Spyro back in the day. That was my jam. I still have Spyro.
We got you the other way.
I know, and then my disc drive broke on my PS4. It sucks. And I'm too poor to replace it. But
what's in that disc drive?
There's something in it. I think it's Far Cry 3, but I could be wrong. Oh man!
Because I found a whole bunch. I found the box of all your PS3 games.
Dang.
And the PS2, and I'm looking at it.
Classic.
Like, wow.
Good stuff. I'm so distracted now.
All in a diaper box.
Diaper. Wasn't a diaper box.
Not in a plastic tub, but in a diaper box.
You know, you get to this stage when you have enough kids where everything's just in a diaper box.
You just move your entire hose.
My children move the diapers out of the box like instantly, and then other things are in the box.
They put their toys in it now because they say
boxes everywhere.
When he moves house.
But yeah, that's the real danger. The real danger for Star Citizen is going the route of Naughty Dog. Because as I understand it, CIG and Robert, what's his first and last name? I can't remember the dude's name. The guy who, you know who I'm talking about. His name's everywhere. Robert something. Chris Roberts, that's the one, right? I believe he made some concessions during that whole thing. And I noticed things get a little liberal, more woke after that. But I've noticed a shift in this year and last year away from that and more of a concentration on getting the game done. I respect that. I really do. Which,
like making all the women stay off stage.
Probably for the best. They're not the most attractive women at CIG. Which probably...
If you're fat, don't wear orange. You look like a pumpkin.
That goes for me, too. Hashtag me, too.
Stop!
I am a pumpkin, too. Anyway. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
That's what Peter said.
Oh, good. I'm gonna actually get to the topic now. So. Oh no!
What do you do?
I hit the wrong
No,
button.
go back. You.
Here we go.
No. Oh, gosh.
Are we live again?
Can you click it?
Can we click that? Oh, that's not it.
No.
Oh.
No, did it stop? Did you stop it? Edit. It's still moving. The time is still moving.
Oh no. Oh god. Reset.
No.
I wonder if they could see us right now. That would be hilarious.
The time's moving still.
Oh, we were having such a good time.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Let's not panic.
We're still live.
Webcam.
Excellent. Keep going. Click this button. See what happens.
Try that.
Is that it? It's the same one. No. It's a different one. I'm sorry. Go back.
Why do you keep hate me?
Gosh.
Okay.
Okay. It says we're live.
What's going on? I've never seen this before. Shoot. Okay, let's try Studio. Cancel. Manage. Okay.
Click live now. This is live now. Public.
Why? What have I done? Edit title on here. Is your delete forever? No. Click on it.
Type in. Can anybody? Just it's. I think it stopped. Can you hear us? See us? What's this one? Do no, put it. No.
Pop out the dashboard. How do I get back in? What is this YouTube?
Because we didn't end the stream yet. We didn't do that yet.
Okay, highlights video, add stream marker, share, top chat. Oh, this sucks. We were having such a good stream.
The volumes. You could copy all that if we need to do it again. Okay, we're still going. What if you backspace into like before you did that thing?
I accidentally just. Why is this not an op? I've never seen this before. This is what's killing me. I've never seen any of this before. What if I do this? Edit. More actions.
Yeah. Do we have to restart it?
I don't know.
Start a new one? I think we have to start a new one. Because it's stuck at that spot where I'm on.
I'm so mad. I slapped the back button. That's all I did.
So can you push forward? Okay.
Have we? Are we back?
We're live.
Gosh dang it, YouTube! Why would you do this to me? Hey guys, we're back. If you could hear me, I'm sorry about that. So, I have been sabotaged by technology. There's a back button on my mouse. I might have clicked it, and then YouTube took me to a screen I'd never seen before, and my apparently my inner boomer came out, and it took me this long to get back on the stream. I really apologize for that. Wow. So we're going to. I'll leave it at that with the whole. If they allow the woke to take over, that's what would destroy the company. That was a fun analysis video. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna slowly take my thumb away from that button.
Do you want me to unplug this and
what? No.
That way you don't have to.
It's helpful. It is a double-edged sword. Okay.
Double-edged button.
Because I'm a man of my word, I'm going to spend the last part of the stream actually talking about the latest ship. So part of the reason why the negativity is around here is CIG has been doing what I would consider a cardinal sin of video game development, and that's excessive nerfs. And in this case, nerfing ships, which is a really bad idea in my opinion, because not only did they sell a lot of these ships with a lot of these concepts in mind, people are really attached to these ships. Like, these ships are so detailed, so intricate, that you have people who are really into these ships. So when you nerf one and people feel like they're no longer viable for the gameplay they like to do, or just the gameplay they think is coming down the line, you make a lot of people mad. And you make a lot of people, depressed isn't the right word, demoralized for the project. Like, and they did this to the Redeemer, which is one of the big boy gunships. Now, I don't think, like other people, I don't think it's useless. They made it more maneuverable and faster, but they took a huge hit to the shields and then a huge hit to the guns. The big problem is their timing sucks. I legitimately think they're trying to change things to match up more with their vision. The Redeemer gunship is actually a fairly small ship, yet it had lots of components and hit points and guns that you would expect with a much larger ship. Now, that was also kind of its selling point, was the idea it was it was hitting above its weight, was the idea. But it was also kind of overpowered. Now, I am much of the school of, rather than nerfing something, boosting everything else. That's harder, but it feels nicer, right? If instead of nerfing the Redeemer, they would have been better off giving other ships that they wanted to compete with it bigger guns, or more shields, or made their shields more powerful, or made the bigger ships more powerful, so that the Redeemer felt nice and didn't change, didn't feel like it got nerfed, but the bigger ships felt even cooler and even better, and you were even more willing to try to get them. Yeah? Wouldn't that have been better than nerfing somebody's baby? And this is literally somebody's, like, you gotta understand, some of these people have bought these things with hundreds of dollars. You grooming me like a monkey?
No, I thought my hair was stuck in your beard or something, and it was driving me crazy.
So, in my opinion, nerfing is really bad. And again, they have sold these ships with concepts in mind. I know in CIG's perspective, they're like, we got to change it for the game. And I would counter, that's fine, but you marketed them in a specific way, and people bought them on that marketing. You need to fulfill that marketing. Just saying. CIG is usually a king of marketing, so much so that, you have a problem where people feel like they were oversold or undersold on something, right? It's a bit of an issue. And in this case, I feel like the marketing completely failed, because they have a new gunship out now. Now, there's not too many gunships out there. So it's kind of good to have some variety. I like that. I don't think this was the best time, because they just nerfed the Redeemer. So now it looks like, right, they nerfed the Redeemer so that the Palladin would sell more and they get more real money off of this new ship. The idea in everyone's heads is going to jump to that. Personally, I don't think that's what it is. I think there's a little bit of it in the sense that they want different roles. But if you just look at even the current Redeemer specs, there's so many more guns, so many more crew positions on the Redeemer, that they're kind of different animals. You need a lot more people to run a Redeemer properly.
How many people?
Probably about 8. I think there's like 7.
8 or 10. No.
There's like at least 5 turrets on there.
Oh, shit.
There's a lot of turrets. And if you look at its size, so let me share the screen again. Come on, Hanger Link. This is still up. That's nice.
Yeah.
We'll keep this up because it's fun. And then
size it up with that one.
Yes. And then there's a little baby little Titan getting spat out of its mama Idris. Oh, what? Anyway, that's not this kind of.
Where's
No. Okay.
Redeemer.
Yeah, the Redeemer is only 51 meters long. This is Le Redeemer. Yes.
He's slightly bigger than the other one.
Like he's
No?
not really that much bigger than
Not that
your
much
average
bigger.
starter vehicle.
Looks like a dolphin. Oh no.
Yes.
No,
See?
it doesn't. That looks
Right
like
about
something
here.
else.
Like,
It's a
see,
bird.
this is, if you can imagine, right? It's considerably bigger, but it's not that much bigger than
They just
your
stretched
standard
it.
smaller
They
vehicle.
stretched
To give you kind of an idea too here, let's bring up your standard medium-sized vehicle. So the Cutlass comes to mind. This
If you
is
spell it right.
and I should probably remember it always spawns it in the same spot over here. What a pain.
That's my ship, right?
No,
No,
yours
I
is
meant
the
right.
cutter.
Cutter.
I'll bring that up
Cutter.
for so you get a feel because I know you like your ship. Yes, I bought my wife a ship.
You got me a baby one compared to all the
Dude,
others.
Yes, I did. It fit you. And let's also bring a classic ship from the old days that's kind of a larger ship, just to give you guys a feel for how big everything is. And then a nice.
You're really so small.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like you see this huge list of ships. It's crazy. It's nuts. And then we'll give like something okay, like a large ship, like one of the larger ships, still in the large category. No shoot. I didn't want to do that. Oh,
I mean,
this is the character and exploration ship, and then we'll do the 890 jump because duh, it's pretty.
it looks like a yacht.
It is a yacht. It is in
It's a
fact
space yacht.
it's a space cruise ship. It's a space cruise ship. It's in game. That also it's kind of funny. They made the space cruise ship before they made the space aircraft carrier.
It's Zelensky's ship if he had one.
He wishes.
He wishes. Because it reminds him of cocaine. Sorry.
Yes. I really want them to actually make a militarized version of the 890. Wife's losing her mind about it.
It's a harmonica in space.
It can fit your ship inside it. At least two of them, I think. All right.
Nice.
But the hangar. Just the hangar. Look where the hangar is, wife.
There?
No. There's a big old triangle, woman. Where's the big triangle? There you go.
I was going to say the whole ship.
It isn't a triangle. All right, get off here. I want to prove my point of what I'm getting on here. So, one other ship we should bring in is a heavy fighter, so you guys understand where we're coming from. Oh, what is their name though? That is the question. Oh, wait.
Type fighter.
It's not. It starts with an R. It's not a reclaimer. It's not the
recliner.
The
no. Raft. Ranger.
No. What?
Razor.
Stop.
Rayleigh.
No. Why do you do this to me? Maybe it's not an R actually. Shoot. Woo. No. Stop saying different names. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're killing me. Where are you on this list? I don't know where'd you go. I missed you so. My wife has sabotaged. It was Vanguard. There we go.
I thought that was a university.
We'll bring your standard heavy fighter into this as well. So this was the first heavy fighter in game.
Where is it? Oh.
Look, he's a pretty heavy fighter. All right, so
now still smaller.
Now I'm gonna make sure no one comment, and we'll get back into
screen.
This. What? Are we still black screen? Or are we back? Okay. Before I do more visual stuff, I'll let my wife confirm that the screen is working. Okay. Keep watching. Still working? Yeah, it's still working.
Keep watching.
Good. All right, let's get into this.
I can still
Okay, we got to remember the delay. So it was probably a black screen when we accidentally hit the back button. Sabotage.
You and your
Stop.
sausage
You
fingers.
can't help it. I was made like this. All right, so
It looks like a little turtle.
yeah, let's put
Put it on
everything to
light.
scale. Everything to scale, so we can all get an understanding from where CIG's perspective for the nerfing of the Redeemer. So here's
You
our
put that one
little
and that one
baby
and that-
starter ships over here. This is my wife's little angry school bus. And over here we have our heavy fighter. We have our medium ship that's kind of a bit of a cargo hauler, general purpose. Then we have kind of a general purpose but more considered combat slash ship that's a large. Then we have our explorer slash combat ship in the Carrack. And oh, these ships are huge. And then you have your 890 yacht, which is also kind of a cruise ship. It's a hotel. And then you have your Idris, which is kind of a battle carrier but small. And then smaller. And then you have your super battle carrier right here. So this gives you guys a perspective of why they felt like they needed to nerf the Redeemer. So here's the Redeemer. Here's its size. It's kind of just the size of your standard heavy fighter.
Just stretched if it was on
Yeah.
a diet.
Right. But it had the firepower comparable to one of these large ships right here. But if you look at your Connie, which is considerably bigger, it's considerably wider and longer. Oh my gosh. It's okay. Wife's dying in the corner. They felt like it had too much firepower for its size. So they went with, okay, it's a gunship. It's supposed to have a firepower and shoot above its weight. Let's make it more maneuverable and faster, but tone down the guns a little bit. And the shields. Like it had shields comparable to the Carrack, just to put it into perspective. This combat explorer, like basically this is a combat scout ship that they also make an explorer. It makes no sense that a ship that tiny should have the same shields as a ship that big. It doesn't make any sense.
It has a little compass on the back. Okay.
Now, again, I stand from the perspective that rather than nerfing the Redeemer, they should have just boosted all these bigger ships and made their shields more powerful. That's in my perspective. But not every game developer is going to be willing to go through the trouble of trying to boost everything bigger than the Redeemer, especially when you have this many ships. But I think they really should have gone down that route because, again, we have...
What are those things?
They're like maneuvering thrusters.
Oh.
And you want to see
Makes
something
sense.
really funky about the Redeemer?
Like they move around like in the...
You want to see something funky? Right. Well, look at the side view. Ooh, those things open up. They're like...
It's like a shrike.
Yes.
Those things?
Yes. Now, to also give a perspective of what they did, that big turret on the bottom had size 5 guns on them. They've nerfed them down to size 4 guns, as I understand it. And there's more guns on there, turrets and crazy stuff. So what's going to get the Redeemer's goat, and I need my mouse again. I need it. Oh god. It does look angry from that perspective.
Hello.
And I should also bring up the Redeemer stats so I'm not complete.
Did those go up and down like real?
Can I continue the stream, woman?
Yeah.
You're cute. You're funny. All right.
Because I don't talk on stage. I'm talking.
Okay, what is it? Urkel? No, it was
Oracle.
combat. No, it was damage calculator.
To calculate damage?
Later. Jerk. Starts
Emotional damage.
Great. You're making us sound like weirdos again, Will. So, slowly but surely, we will bring up another very helpful site. This one, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Redeemer Lamps. All right. So now let me switch which screens I'm sharing. Oh God, it's so bright. Share. So this is the Redeemer stats now. Its weapons. We have 2 size 4s for the pilot. I think can it go into size 5s or no? It's locked on. Yeah, it's locked on size 4. Right.
Your black screen currently. Because you're not showing that screen. Oh, wait.
No, I am.
Okay.
Don't you lie to me, woman. So, yes, this is Urkel
good.
something.
Okay.
Right. You got 2 size 4s for the pilot. You have a man turret with. What is this? I don't recognize it. Size 4s again. And then you have another man turret with more size 4s.
So every time you see a 4B.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 size 4s. Remote turret. Yeah, these are size 3s. 2 size 3 guns. 4 size 3 guns. And a fair amount of missiles, if I remember. Yeah, that's a lot of missiles. So you used to also have a pair of size 5s on here. But they changed that to...
No 5 stars?
No 5 stars. To 4 size 3s. And including the pilot's guns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 size 4s. You can see lots of DPS over here, if you know what I mean. Now, the issue is nerfing it down there, right? Our new ship, Le Palladin, right here. It's pretty. I like it. You might notice these huge guns. It has 4 size 5 guns. Now, as I understand it, if we look into some stats here somewhere, we'll get into reading some of this. But it's not that big of a ship. Not that big at all. Yeah, it is 53 meters long. And again, if we look at our hangar link here, wife has messed with me. The Redeemer is 51 meters long. So this thing has a... They were thinking size 5s were too much for the Redeemer, but they're going to slap 4 size 5s on one turret of this ship. Now, far be it from me. Did we go black again? Can you guys hear me? What's going on
Back
here?
to the stream. Let's see. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Huh.
Okay.
Stop
they can see
sharing.
it. They can see it. Then.
Oh, shoot.
Because
Right.
you
Wait,
have to click it and then go back and then you could.
Gosh, dang it.
Yep.
Share again.
And now go back to here.
Go back here. We can all see. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes. What a pain. Anyway.
Now try going back and see what happens.
All right. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties, right?
Yeah. Now
Now we're
showed
good.
it move.
So you can see why Redeemer guys are look. Okay, you can see why Redeemer guys might feel like they got nerfed to sell this ship, and it is a great ship. I like its practicality. It's very tanky looking. I'm assuming it's going to fly a bit like a brick. So what it looks like what they wanted to do was make the Redeemer the more maneuverable option with more smaller guns, which makes it better against light fighters, and medium ships. While this ship having a ton of firepower, but if you don't know, so the way they kind of balance it is size 5 guns do a crap ton of damage, but once you get up to size 5s, the lasers start like the weapons themselves, the projectiles are slower. That makes sense. So it's a lot harder to hit faster moving targets. And so size 5s and up are generally meant for bigger targets. So with that, you have some defenses with your 4 size 4 guns here. And if you read the thing, I read it a little more thoroughly. These 2 side turrets here can either be manned or the pilot can be controlling them, which is fascinating. Also, this turret does this little track thing and comes to the bottom. Now, personally, I think they could have just made the Redeemer more maneuverable and maybe nerfed its shields a little bit and kept the guns the same. And it would have been more of a maneuverable fast glass cannon. And then this would have been your tanky, unable to fly option. Unable to fly, really maneuverable option with lots of guns meant to hit bigger stuff. It's a really questionable timing because basically, even though the Redeemer got nerfed a while ago, we know they were working on the Palladin back then. Like they're far enough along in its concept stage and everything that they were working on it back then. So this is also not the first wave of nerfs. They also nerfed the Corsair, which made a lot of people unhappy.
Or what?
Corsair. And so developers often get into this thing where they feel like something's unbalanced and they feel like they need the control for it. But again, it's usually much better to buff everything else so the balance feels right rather than nerfing something. And it's even more important with these spaceships because people have spent real money on them and they're so detailed and you get really attached. Like it took me forever to upgrade from my Pisces because I just love the little thing for some stupid reason. It has its uses. Don't get me wrong. Now, this ship is really useful. It's the kind of ship that if, the kind of feel is, oh, it's a great ship until they nerf this one and want to sell the next gunship, right? And that's a fair reaction. CIG kind of deserves that. They've been nerfing too much lately and not boosting the bigger ships, Right now, they're trying to figure out how they want their big ship combat to play out and how fighters will be involved. And what their goal is what you saw in the Squadron 42 trailer, right? The idea being fighters and bombers go in to destroy specific emitters and specific functions of the bigger ships while the bigger ships are duking it out. And so the fighters and bombers are designed to make an opening that the big ship can take advantage of and do the final knockout punch, or the big ship makes an opening that then the bombers do the final knockout punch, depending on how you want to look at it. Right? We'll see how it works. Now, I don't recommend spending any real money at this gesture unless you really want to support the project, in which case, sure, it's a great little gunship. The design is good. It has the right amount of amenities for something a little long range. If you notice, all 4 seats are in a nice, really, you can see each other. It's kind of cool. Proximity chat will work. Don't let Jeff, who likes to eat while he flies, sit over you, if you know what I mean. You'll get a lot of crumbs. But it's kind of cool. The main selling point for me is how much firepower you get for how few people are brought to the table. Wow, is it going black again on us again? That's so annoying.
That's the same comment.
I don't know. That's weird. Why did it do that? Anyways,
That was the same comment as you.
What I'm getting at here is you have to bring a lot more people, a lot more gunners to make the Redeemer viable. This one, you could get away with one gunner if you wanted to, and then the pilot can control the 2 size 4 turrets. You can bring more people along, give them something to do if they want it. Realistically, with what they want to do, so engineering isn't quite in yet, but they want to make it really important for bigger ships and medium-sized ships. Realistically, you'll probably want one guy doing an engineering role, damage control, that kind of thing on this ship. And so 4 to 5 people. That's a lot easier than the 6 to 7 to even 8 you need on the Redeemer. And you get a lot of firepower for the amount of people you're bringing online. For smaller groups of people, like for me, I have 4 kids. 3 of them are boys. Why did it keep changing the screen when I didn't do? Oh, it's because it's the slideshow. That was so confusing. It's gonna keep.
Is that someone hacked the stream, huh?
No. For a moment, I just thought it was doing weird lag. Yeah, it has like 6 size 4 racks, as I understand it. Which, in Star Citizen, if you don't know, you can, if it's not a bespoke rack, you can actually change them out. So the way it works is every size down doubles. So if you have a size 4 missile rack, it can hold 1 size 4 missile, or it can hold 2 size 3s, 4 size 2s.
Right there.
Right. Well, and if you notice, it's on a rack, so it can actually go up the side of its ass right there. You see that rail?
So it's like a crab.
Yeah, like the you remember that one ship I showed you that I was playing around with that has that the tractor beam that can go on its butt or on its head. It's like that. It was cool, except it's a billion times bigger and does a lot of damage.
So that's what it looks like.
Yeah, like I said, don't let my wife be above you in the seat. You're getting crumbs and everything right on you as you're trying to fly.
Don't fart.
Don't fart. So, to give you guys kind of a feel why it's a good little ship for what it is, you can see it has a little bit of a cargo bay in the back. One question I do have about that, looking at it, you're probably talking about 10 to 20 SCU, depending on what space we're dealing with here. It's probably big enough for a small vehicle, very small. If we're lucky, at least the little Jeeps that they have. Little Jeeps, the can't think of its name right now. It's not important, but the little Jeeps, you get them. I'm a little worried about this door because I can't help but notice the turret's rail, like it's a little track, covers this door. So
that's a problem.
Does that retract? Can you not open the door while the turret's moving? Can you potentially kill someone with the turret if they're in the wrong spot? If so, who do you not like, and when can we put him in the way of the turret? Because I want to see him I want to see someone get turned into meat paste by the turret as it's going.
Wow. Man.
But is it doing the thing again where it's changing?
Yeah.
Man, it is changing. Stop with the automatics. I was right. So. Right. There's your code. It has a little blast shield for funsies. I don't know how important that'll be, but we'll find out. You get your weapons, you get some missiles. You get big shields, though, like size 3 shields. Again, we come back to question, the Redeemer had size 3 shields, and they put it down to size 2 shields. Will this get nerfed? Yeah, I'm feeling like it's very possible. Now, it's supposed to be a long-range ship, so looks like you have mirrored bunks on either side here. So 2 here, 2 there. Beds are important in this game because you can log off on your bed and save your ship's position and everything in it.
People attack your ship here? Not there.
They do persist, so it is a risk, but you can do it in the right situation. The space is very big, so if you just pick a random point, cat just spilled stuff. Now, I used to think it was silly, these living areas, but you'd be surprised. It's actually very nice to have a kind of a spot to hang out with everybody and talk and do weird stuff. And then if we go to the top deck, or is this the bottom? This is the bottom deck. You have another entrance, suit lockers, and armory, which is nice. What is this? Stairs and upper deck. Well, what is all this space here? I'm a little confused. I don't know what all this is. It looks important. There's a cat. And there's your lower gunners. So if you remember the picture down here, well, that actually worked really well. Those guys. That's this. But the missile racks are actually on the wings and can be changed out. So it's not like there's a... That could be a cargo elevator, but don't quote me on that. It does look elevator-ish. And also remember, with these concepts, they can change and change a lot by the time they come out. So that's why I recommend only buy if you really want to support, right? And again, you don't want to buy too many ships because you actually take away a lot of the motivation for play. Because right now, until they add a lot of the stuff that they talked about, like being able to make your own bases and houses and space stations and all that, until they add that, the late game is just owning ships. So if you own all the ships you ever could want, what's your motivation to play the game? I might have had a couple of those this morning. There were, and I had two. My wife has discovered my donut sins from this morning. She is not pleased.
I mean, at least these are just the glaze, so that's nothing special. But
Yeah. It's not like I bought you lunch and breakfast and all that today. You're welcome.
I am grateful. I just cook grape.
She gets very possessive on donuts. Not other foods, but donuts, man. Woo! Don't eat Mama Grizzly's donuts. It's gonna come home to like wars about that. I feel like in my house, but
it's a comfort food, okay? I can hide it from the kids.
Because of the beds and the living space, I'm under the perspective that this is going to be a longer range ship too. So it's going to be a great option, I'd say, for long range attack. That's what I mean by that. Let's say in Pyro, you have assets or you have friends who are doing mining or something. They keep getting attacked by something like would a Polaris be the right? Would I bring this against the Polaris? I bring this and some other ships against the Polaris. Let's just say let's tone it down a little bit. Maybe something like a pirate fleet based off of Corsair. I would 100% bring one of these and know I would kick their ass easily unless there was a serious skill issue involved.
Like carpal tunnel?
Yes. Or for instance, the last time I was gunning in a gunboat in Foxhole, and instead of reloading the main gun, I was slapping E instead of R, and I was like, "Why is my gun not shooting?"
And you said that in the whole chat in the local.
No, I was thinking it. Thank God. So they didn't know why the gun wasn't shooting. They just know that we died. To be fair, before I did that, I killed the other gunboat we were fighting. There were two of them. I would have gotten the second one if I'd hit R instead of E. Gunners, remember what your reload button is. Arr, matey. Now,
I'm not gonna even say how long I've been playing that game. 1 12-hour day, maybe.
You don't need to list your video game sins here.
No.
Something to take in mind. You have lots of big components and big guns. This thing is not hiding. She not hiding. Everyone's gonna know where it is, like tens of thousands of kilometers away. Okay, you're not thousands, but it's going to show up on everyone's radar really brightly, and it's going to be a major target for any stealth ship. Right, that's the thing they're gonna want to get away. And remember, because those size 5 guns have projectile speed slower, you're going to need to depend on your size 4s more to keep fighters off of you. Like, in my opinion, this seems to be what they want to do. The Redeemer is designed to take on fighters and medium fighters, light fighters, bombers. This is designed to take on your Corsairs, your constellations, trying to think of the other big one. The Redeemer itself, I would point out. And then things like I wouldn't take it up against something like a Perseus. I would be tempted to take maybe 2 of them up against Polaris because of their more in-your-face gun perspective. They could they're not quite big enough to worry about a point blank shot from a size 10 torpedo, if that makes any sense. But they have size 3 shields, so they can tank a lot of the fire from the Polaris's guns, which aren't that big, while dishing out a fairly big size of like, let's say you had a group of 10 and 10 players. 10 of them are in a Polaris and maybe a couple of them in fighters. And then you wanted to create a fleet to counter this. I would bring 1 or 2 of these, we'll say 2, full manned with 4 guys each. Well, no, screw that. We would be practical about this. 2, 3. We'll say 3. We'll say engineering gameplays then. 3. 3 of them.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, 3.
Oh.
So 6 of our guys are taken up in 2 of these paladins. Assuming, right, they don't nerf it, and assuming it comes out before my kids have children. With the pilot controlling the size 4 guns, and then 1 guy controlling the big boy gun. You have 2 of those coming in, taking on the Polaris itself, and then you have a series of light fighters with them. We'll see how big the bay is. The Fury can actually fit in a lot of surprising places. So if the Fury fits in that back bay, I would have 2 Fury gunners. So they'd be basically that way we don't have to bring as many ships. If that makes any sense. And the Fury is a perfectly adequate dogfighter that's really small and capable of hiding because of its small size and smaller components. Meaning you could have a Fury flying right next to this thing and people wouldn't notice it until they were too close to know it had support. So if each one of them could bring a Fury. If not, then a longer range light fighters and longer range light fighters that don't technically exist. Excuse me. So let's...
Nerd.
I am a nerd. But in this case, if the Furies can fit in the back, which they might, they can actually fit in a lot of tight spaces. Like that space, let's say no. Let's say no to the Fury. We'll say it's all long-range engagement. 2 of the Paladins, and then I would, ironically, I'm tempted to actually say 1 Paladin and then 1 Redeemer. But we'll say 2 Paladins taking up 6 of the guys, 1 engineering guy, 2 gunners, 2 pilots, and then you bring a series of heavy fighters to keep the fighters off of these, because remember, their weakness is going to be lighter fighters, not bigger targets. This is designed for fighting big targets, at least the size of a large ship. Medium ships too could get pulverized. I would not take a cutlass against this thing, because a cutlass is not maneuverable enough to dodge size 5 guns, and you will die. So anything medium and larger. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's what I would have bring. Doy stupid. I'm stupid.
Stupid.
And she was stupid. A Hurricane or a Scorpius. We'd bring a Hurricane or a Scorpius. That's 2 more. Yeah. Hurricane, Scorpius. If we can bring a couple light fighters, great. Probably actually bring one of the Vanguards because it's long range. And we're assuming a long range engagement and we're all meeting out in space somewhere. That means we have to bring everything with us. But we'll say it's a defensive situation, then bring some light fighters to support it. Paladins take on the big ship while the fighters duke it out. Excuse me. Hi. There. You would use the size 5 turrets to precision attack the engines. Yeah. No, I think that's just a walkway.
That box.
Yeah, wow. Okay, let's stop that thing from moving. It's driving me crazy. Yep.
That's the thing, right?
I think this is just a walkway. This looks like an elevator, though. I could be wrong. Like, doesn't that look like something should go there? It could be an elevator because this is the bottom floor. Oh, man, I've been talking too much. It's been a fun stream, though. Hope you guys... I finally got into it. So, I would highly recommend using the Palladin if you don't have a lot of guys, right? If you're like me and you're going to be lucky to get more than your kids playing this game, then Paladin is great because you can bring a lot of. Oh my gosh. No more of that. Oh no, that's going to move too. Oh, hey, look, a screen that doesn't move. Let's put the black one on. This one's cool. Yeah, that's sexy. I like that shit. It needs like a blue stripe or something if you wanted to go like if you didn't care about people seeing you. I like that.
Like stealth mode.
I like that black one. But again, not a stealthy ship. You're not stealthing in this ship, so stop it.
Darn it. Darn.
Those big boy guns are going to be seen a long ways away.
Because they're shiny.
Mm-hmm. And your shields are going to be powerful, but very obvious. So, yeah.
The black one does
because you can use all of its firepower with just 2 people, and then one more guy for engineering in the back. This is a great ship to use as a small group of guys. You could potentially, doing a skeleton crew, bring 2 of these and a light fighter with you, with 5 guys, like you screwing the engineering position in the back, and bring 10 size 5s. 8 size 4 guns, all of its missiles, and then whatever light fighter you want to keep other fighters off their back. That's a lot of firepower. Honestly, as I'm saying this is nerf bait. I feel like they're totally going to nerf this at some point. But till they do, this is going to be a great option if you don't have a lot of guys to bring on. Now, that said, if you're a bigger party, like you might say, well, why don't the bigger crews just bring more of them? That's a good question. My counter would be they're going to be very vulnerable to fighters, especially medium fighters. They have really big shields, but because though they have good coverage, they can take advantage of the medium fighters in this great position where it has a lot of DPS and it's still small enough to dodge and move out of the way of size 5 guns. Let's say you did that, you brought 2 of these, but you didn't bring any light fighter escort, and you were doing the minimum. So it was just the pilot and the guy. You're
doing the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. Well, the size 4 guns aren't going to have 4 coverage in that situation, right? You're going to be very vulnerable to a medium fighter getting on that ship's ass, because the size 5s is going to have a lot of trouble keeping up with those faster moving ships. And the medium fighters do have enough firepower to get through size 3 shields with effort. It takes time, but they can get through, right? So if I were going up against a crew who were trying to maximize their DPS and they neglected to bring a proper light fighter escort and they only had 2 guys in a pair of these, my response would be to bring an equal amount of guys. So 5 guys in Hornets, or something similar to Hornets, so the medium fighter. Full, depending on where we are in development, if that makes any sense. If they have because they want to create a situation where penetration is important. Penetration is important and all that. Meaning like, so if that's in place, then I would actually want everyone running full ballistics. The point being, you're going to get right behind them and you're going to target their engines. You target their engines, suddenly that one pilot, he's dead in the water. He has to choose one of those size 4 guns to man, and then you can just pick the side you don't want to. You take out those, and then you're free to take out the different turrets. What are they going to do, right? Without extra gunners, the rear of the ship is very vulnerable, because if the pilot's controlling the 2 front guns, they're only going to be shooting forward. They're not going to be able to use their full arc and shoot behind them. Does that make any sense? So that's why if you have more people, you can take full advantage of that, or take advantage of ships that have more turrets, or just, fighter swarm and pray they don't bring a Redeemer. If they get that balancing right, you could actually see a situation where someone would bring a Redeemer and then a Paladin, with a lightly crewed Paladin being supported by a Redeemer to keep all the fighters off of it. That I could see. And if a Fury can fit it in its butt, bring a Fury for extra support to keep any fighters that get by the Redeemer off of its ass long enough for the Redeemer to catch up and go, if you know what I mean. There you go. Wow, that was long and complicated. You can go all day long theory crafting what different ship situations would look like. Now, in the current meta, if they pop this ship out in the next year or two, this is a strong option for PvE, not PvP too, because of your 4 size 4s you're bringing in, the size of the ship, the fact that just one buddy with you gives you 4 size 5s. Dude, you're going to shred through any of the higher threat bounty hunter missions where, big ships pop up. Really good. And since it does have a small cargo bay, you'll be able to bring some of the drugs and stuff that pop off. And I'm a naughty person. Always sell those drugs, man. They're worth a lot of money. Weevil eggs. That's where Weevil eggs is where it at, baby. And so it'll be also a great option for smaller crews trying to, escort stuff for sure. Because most of the time, pirates are going to have more than just fighters with them because you need something to take the pirated materials away. Not so much if they're just trolling and just killing you. Then they'll probably just have fighters. So, again, I'm hoping that CIG eventually pulls off a scenario where the Redeemer is a gunship designed for shooting smaller fighters because of its more maneuverability and lots of smaller guns. And then your Palladin is designed for taking on medium to large ships. And then in larger numbers, take on capital ships like the Polaris. Again, Polaris is a good option. This is a good option for taking on a Polaris because of its size 3 shields, right? The Polaris's various guns, it has a lot of them, are going to take a long time to get through its shields, and it's going to be able to pinpoint different systems to attack. And the Polaris's engines are huge and on the back. Shoot those bad boys, and suddenly you can stay out of range of the size 6s, but you still have all the point defense turrets to deal with. Wow. I didn't include Foxhole in the description at all.
Okay, never mind.
But I can if you want. I'm tired, but I could. No, I don't think so. We're at an hour 47. I have work tomorrow.
You gotta go into work earlier.
No, I don't.
But tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. That was just those 2 days. Yeah. Tomorrow it'll be 11 again.
Okay.
It was a Thanksgiving thing. Who would have guessed that certain people want to eat out during Thanksgiving? By certain, I mean most people.
When Taco Bell and everything else is closed?
No, well, the day before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. 2 days after, that kind of thing. Anyway, you guys have been fun. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a good time. I always like making wife stay up late.
Tomorrow we're doing our Sunday school lesson.
Oh, we are, yeah. So, tomorrow, same time, we'll be going over the Sunday school lesson. The Warrior's Path Sunday school lessons for young men. If you're interested in that, it's a really good lesson this time. I mean, they're all good lessons, but I really like this one. It starts talking about Palaio.
Is it?
I forget his Latin name.
Close enough to Polaris.
That's a Paladin.
I know.
But the Polaris, babe, is a different ship. We talked about it though.
I know, but
Palaio was pretty close to a Paladin.
I was just
as he
pointing
was a
general, not
crusader. And one could argue he started the Reconquista at the battle. The name's funny. The battle.
History lesson tomorrow.
Yes, the Battle of Covadonga.
Donga. Sounds like crap.
Exactly. Never end.
It's
Spanish
Donga.
speakers never end the name of a serious battle with Donga. You're going to lose everyone who speaks English, just like that. Donga.
Sure would say Donga.
And various Star Wars gobbledygook languages use that to call it Donga. I've played too many Star Wars games as a kid. But it is a really fascinating battle where
They're done each other.
no, but giant boulders onto Muslims. Good times. And miracles and stuff happened. Not the boulders. That wasn't necessarily a miracle. They pushed those down a hill onto them. But basically, the Moors get their asses kicked by Charlemagne and are really feeling the sting. So on their way back through Spain, they want to end this rebellion that's starting in these northern provinces that they've been ignoring. And that just so happens to be Pelayo's boys. And they come at them with the full might of their army because they want to give their army an easy victory to offset the morale-shattering loss of getting their asses kicked by a bunch of French dudes who weren't French yet. I don't know if spaceship dudes would be into that, but that's the overview. I'll leave what happens to kick off the Reconquista for tomorrow. Ooh. I'm gonna turn screen. Thanks for showing up. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, my fat thumb being one of them, and mouses that are designed to like catch your thumb and hit the back button and stop whatever it is you're doing. And YouTube's real
side effect makes me think of a whale, like a blue whale.
Don't click the button. You almost clicked the button. I saw it. You were getting close.
Looks like a blue whale.
It's black. So it's a black whale.
I'm telling you. You see those lines?
Yes.
The mouth of a blue whale. It's a blue.
You think those big... I think she's fat shaming me again, but I'm not sure. No. She like did it in front of my mouth. Thank you, wife. Yes, I'm very careful. I love you. All right, we're getting off. Like, subscribe, share, all that business.
It looks like a blue whale.
Here is a dog.
Oh, Rosie.
Say hi, Rosie. Yes. Say hi for Sky Dog.
You're done moping?
Yeah.
You've been moping all week.
Yeah. She doesn't like her new food. We're going to have to...
She put her butt in my face a couple days ago.
But you got fresh chicken today. I don't know what your problem is. Okay. Dog. Okay. You guys have been great. We will be going back to Friday being the Grizzly gaming stream again. There you go. Presumably if my work doesn't go insane. But that's the goal, going back to Fridays, same time.
Hey, look at this.
Yeah. Sunday school lessons, which we put up a new one every Sunday, and then we go over it on a live stream on Monday. We also do a creepy podcast that goes up every Saturday. The last one was about an alleged werewolf attack in Texas. That one's fascinating because there's a clear police cover-up. I also got a couple dislikes on that one, which surprised me. Like equal likes and dislikes, and I was like, I don't know what I did differently to deserve the dislikes on that one compared to all the likes on the other ones. Hey, you guys, let me know if you disliked it. Just let me know. I'm curious. What I'll probably ignore you, but I'm just wondering what you hated. I also need to make sure because I technically recorded that one a long time ago. I need to make sure. You recorded
that back in
a year ago. I want to make sure there was no update to the case either. But basically, give you the rundown. There's a lot of.
You want to talk about that or not? Okay.
I'm just going to talk about the cover-up part, not the creepy part.
Okay.
Basically, the police did a lot of weird, shady things around this case. A lot of shady things with the DNA, lots of jumping. Lots of weird conclusions, lots of ignoring of professionals who were telling them that it definitely was not just a normal dog or definitely not this, definitely not that. And the cops were just trying to push everything under the table. Oh, is it because I referred to him as a possible dirtbag, but a recovering dirtbag? Is that? That could be it. You might want to get used to that. I don't hold back on that kind of shit. So, you guys are great. If you like that stuff, tune in.
I don't remember what was said in that video.
Rosie, get
down.
Well, that's our own fault for leaving coleslaw in her general vicinity. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys are awesome. Come back again next week or Friday
Tomorrow.
this week. Tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow for Sunday school. Can't always just be fun spaceship talk, boys. Or what turned into a she's doing it again on camera. You. I'm going to murder her. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.